Hey YCC, welcome to another deck profile. I'm here with Daniel Z, who played in the most recent Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Extravaganza. What deck did you play and what did you do?
Hi everybody. I was in the Extravaganza. I played in the Winamat, and I played in the main event. I was playing Adamancipator with the with Prank Kids.
Right, and you won the Winamat, correct?
I did. I went pretty much undefeated in the Winamats. It was very unexpected.
Right. So anyway, you had to drop from the main event, sadly. So we don't know if you would have topped it or not.
Unfortunately, I had a personal conflict come up, so I had to drop after round four. My record at the time was 2-2, so I had a fair chance of going all the way, but maybe next time, we'll see what happens.
Right. Anyway, let's move on with the deck profile. Prank Ada
Sure,
has
sure.
only recently come into the meta, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much been hovering around that like roguish tier 2, 1.5, like somewhere between tier 2 and 1.5. It's got the power to be to be like meta, but just another representation.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely a very strong contender.
Anyways, let's go on with the profile.
Uh, sure, sure. So for the main deck, it's three of each minor. That's pretty standard. You want to see what one of these guys in your opening hand every game. Three copies of Guardian. This is hand trap protection. Three copies of Supplier. This card is insane. I see some people don't play this, and I don't get why it chain blocks like so many of your link monsters. It's crazy. For the excavate targets, I have two copies of Doki Doki and one Crystal Drakeite. I played 2/3 because this is not a very good opener, and it's really just good to try to get like a Guardian on field if you don't have a way to get one. And I played Drakeite as another water to go in the graveyard. It's a level 4, and its draw effect can help you because this deck doesn't retain card advantage very well. So getting that extra draw sometimes really does come up. The Prankit engine is three of the Roxys and one of the Dropsies. You play water over the fire because the level is more important. This deck needs levels 2s and 4s because it's all evens. This also modulates life points to help win in time, which, funny enough, that did actually come up once. The opponent was very mad that he lost because of that. Otherwise, Roxy's helps you get a draw, so it can get bricky cards out of your hand. And this whole engine is just really good to get a good link for on field early. Generic extenders, three parallel, and two hat tricker. So people play two. I think three is correct just because there's the chances where you open two and then you can't use this. So having the third one just makes it so this card is always live. And this just chain blocks your Prank Kids engine, Palki Fibrax, just really good. It helps you go into rank 4. And this is not a lot of people do this. This is so I played Hat Tricker as opposed to another hand trap. Um, it's just a really good extender. Doesn't activate, so you just summon it as a level 4 body. You can use it for Xyz plays, for Link plays, synchros. Just really nice card, really easy to set up, especially if you get like Nibiru'd. If you can get another monster in field with the Nibiru token, or even just have the Nibiru token on the opponent's Nibiru, you can still summon this card. For hand traps, I only went with 6. I went with Ash and the Gamma package. I didn't want to play more because I felt it was too bricky. And these, I think, are pretty solid hand traps. These hit all the combo decks. Ash hits the Lich decks pretty well. And anytime I had a dead matchup with Gamma, I would usually just side it out. But otherwise, the hand traps did pretty well. Never really felt like I needed anything else in the main, like a Nibiru or anything.
Gamma's
That's it for the
also
mon.
Gamma's also good to summon off Helki, right?
Yes, yes. It was usually Gamma was usually my go-to Halki Fibrax target, unless I had like signs and I wanted to put an Adamancipator engrave. But yeah, usually I would just summon Gamma off Hulk.
Right.
That's it for the monsters. For the spells, I play 3 copies of Rock Monster Reborn and 1 copy of Monster Reborn. So basically 4 revival spells, and then 1 copy of Emergency Teleport because I am playing the Gamma. So this is a tuner extender. And then I play 1 copy of Shade Brigadine as just another generic extender body. And that really does it for the main deck. Everything was pretty. Yes, this is 40. Everything in the main deck worked really well. I wouldn't make any changes to the main deck. Main deck worked much better than I expected it to. So I'm really happy with the main deck.
Okay.
Onto the extra deck. For the links, I have Access Code Talker and Appaloosa as the link fours. I would make Appaloosa going first, Access Code going second for pretty obvious reasons. I played Nightmare Unicorn to go into Access Code just to help break boards easier. For the link twos, I played Halki, IP, Lambda, and the Doodle Doo. Halki, just have to play because it's really good for getting tuners on field. IP, I never made this, but there's times when I could have. I don't think it would have done anything different, but I feel like just not playing this is really doing a disservice. Because it's good interruption to make with the Unicorn or to make Appaloosa in the opponent's turn. Lambda never came up, and I'm going to cut this card. I think this card's actually kind of garbage. I never had a situation where I would need to make this card, so I think this is just wasted space. And moving forward, this is going to get cut. Doodle Doo, I kind of feel the same way. It doesn't really do anything for the deck. It's just kind of there to fulfill the prank attention. So I'm a little iffy on it, but I made it almost every match, and it's just helped used to make Appaloosa or Access Code, whatever you're going into. So it's fine. I'll probably keep it in for a little while longer, but otherwise, everything else on the for these guys worked pretty well. And then we have Meow Meow and Almirage. This card didn't come up at all, but I do play it because there's some bad hands where you kind of need to use your normal summon to go into this to trigger like Parallel or trigger Supplier in order to kind of get yourself going. If you don't open a tuner, which is kind of rare, usually I'd say like 95% of my hands were just full combo, so I really never bricked throughout the entire event. For Synchro Monsters, I played Savage Dragon, I played Drakeite, I played Crystal Wing, and Raptite. Savage, I would make going first on game one if I didn't know what the opponent was on, because it's better just have an Omni negate. Drakeite is insane going second, just being able to bounce up to 5 cards on your opponent's side of the field doesn't target. It's just like you can't get better value for breaking boards than that. So this was the breakout card. This was a last-minute choice, Crystal Wing. I decided to play this over Herald, and I'm really glad I did. Every match I made this in probably, I want to say 6 of my 7 matches. I won every game that I summoned this in. Nobody knew how to beat it. Pretty much nobody knew what it did either, which I thought was just crazy, because how do you not know what Crystal Wing does? But so many people didn't know how to handle this card, and it just won so many games on its own. Definitely would recommend playing this over anything like Herald. And then Raptite, you have to play. It's your first synchro that you're always going to go into. It helps get anything you're missing, whether it be like another tuner or maybe like another level 4 body, because it could summon any rock. The ability to DD Crow, it came up, but I never kept this on field enough to do that. So usually this would just be made to either go into Savage or to go into Crystal Wing.
Right.
That is it for the synchros. I might tinker around. I've been mulling over the Satellite Warrior package, because I definitely would have needed something like that in the Extravaganza, so I might make some space for that. I'm not sure what to cut, though. For the Xyz, I have Dweller and Granite. Granite's insane. Just search any rock monster I need. So if I didn't open a Researcher, just make this, grab a Researcher. A lot of times I would make this, and I would have a Researcher in hand, and I would just go to activate the effect just so that the opponent would ash this. So now I know that the rest of my excavates would just be fine. Because at best, they ash it, and I still have the Researcher in hand. At worst, I'm sorry, the other way. At worst, I still have the Researcher in hand. At best, I would get a Researcher for follow-up, or maybe like a Supplier to help extend. So those cards are really cool. Funny enough, you can actually use this to search Nibiru too. I always find it very funny. Dweller, I might cut this card. Drytron was nowhere to be found at the event, and I kept this in just for Drytron. I made this during Eldritch, but against Eldritch, but it didn't really help because I couldn't. They were playing with Winda, and I couldn't out the Winda, so this just delayed the inevitable. I feel like this card is just very underwhelming. So I might cut this card too. I'm not 100% sure. And that's my extra. For the side deck, I have 2 copies of Psycho Reader, 2 copies of Nibiru, 3 copies of Lancia, and 3 copies of Droll for the hand traps. I might cut Psycho Reader just because Drytron is down. I'm going to wait for the ban list just to see, because I hear Drytron is very low in popularity. This never got cited in. Nibiru, always just very good card. I think. No, I never got the result. I pretty much never got to use any of my hand traps, which I thought was very funny. Um, but I definitely cited this in a couple of times, so I'm going to keep this in. Lancia never came up. I think Troll might have come up in one game. I want to say I don't remember exactly which match it was. I think it was the against like Dogmatica. I think I cited this in because that deck adds a lot. So that's the hand trap lineup. I'd definitely keep most of these in. Just Psycho Reader, I'm iffy about. And then for spells, I just played the Feather Duster. I didn't get to use it, but I did have this card one game, and I don't think it would have helped too much because I didn't play too many control matchups, but just too strong not to play, so I'll keep it in there. Red Reboot, funny story about Red Reboot. I'm playing against Pac, the Twitch streamer, in round one, and he was on Trap Shit All, so I hit him with Red Reboot. I want to say it was game two, and so I set his needle ceiling down, and I miscalculate how much damage I have on field. I had 7,900. So I just missed lethal, and I'm just killing myself for the rest of the game because I'm like, I miss lethal with Red Reboot. It's just too embarrassing for me. And then the last card I have here is evenly matched. This is getting out of here. This card sucks. I don't know why people like this card. I'd rather play Twin Twisters. This card cost me my matchup against round four because the opponent had Shit-All Schism on field. I knew they had Schism, and I had no way to beat it, so I just go evenly matched. They just chain Schism. Oh, no, they did Schism in the main phase, and then I just did evenly matched, and they just kept Window on field, and I had nothing to beat Window, so this is going to be Twin Twisters, because I don't own Lightning Storm, and I think Cosmic's a little too low impact for like these heavy backer decks.
Right.
That's really it.
So that's the deck profile. Were there any matchups during your Winamats or the main event that you want to go over?
Well, for the Winamats, it was 3 rounds. The first round was versus Bird Up, and what's funny is that Bird Up actually won the main event, which I just find hysterical, because the deck is really, really bad. The deck is just so easy to beat. Because I just would make all my negates and they couldn't play through it. Second match was against Invoke Dogma. That deck is not very good either. It just loses too hard to draw. The third match that won me the Winamat was against Madolche. And a little funny thing here. So Madolche plays Dimension Shifter. And if you don't know, Dimension Shifter can cuck like all the decks in the meta, but does absolutely nothing to Solid Rocks. So game 3, this guy Dimension Shifters me, and I proceed to make Appaloosa for 3 negates, Crystal Wing, and a Kawaki Guardian against Madolche, who can't play through 1 negate. And he's just like, okay, I thought that would actually stop your turn. And I said, nope. It doesn't stop nothing. I mean, I could play Dimension Shifter in this deck too, honestly, but as far as the main event is concerned, I already mentioned they play against Pac round 1, and I'm not a big fan of that guy. He's not really fun to play against. Round 2. What did I play against? I was against Danger Dark World, and it was an old school player, so he had no idea what any of my cards did. That was an easy win. Third round was against Phantom Knights, and this poor Phantom Knights guy, he just didn't know the rules. He tried to link summon with a set monster, and I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, oh, why do I have to deal with this kind of guy? That was another easy win. And then round 4, the last one I played was against 60 cards, good stuff, Shadal, Invoked, Dogmatica, Eldritch, Kitchen Sink deck. And that guy won just because I play no out to Winda. I just completely forgot it existed. So moving forward, that's definitely on my radar to stop.
Alright, so thanks for the deck profile. If you want to take part in YCC's locals, you can find the Discord link in the description. We host them every Wednesday and Saturday at 6 p.m. EST. Thanks for your time, and I'll see everyone
Yeah, thanks for having me.
next time. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.